Christmas has officially come and gone. I hope all of you have had an excellent holiday, but with this, it means that Christmas noobs are officially upon us, and it is officially the best time of year to start pub stomping. But what we're going to be focusing on today is raising everyone's kill death ratio. Whether you're a seasoned veteran or brand new to the game, I'm going to try to give you guys some tips to help you raise that kill death ratio. Maybe you're a 1.0 player and want to get up to a 2.0 KD. That is what this video is all about. But speaking of which, if you are a Christmas noob, you just got the game and actually would like to play some Black Ops 4 with me, the way to do so is check out my Twitch. My Twitch is going to be the first link down in the description. I'm going to be streaming later today at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and when I stream, I always do open lobbies, which means it gives you a chance to actually hop in a game, play with me, and you can just hang out in the stream. So, like I said, Twitch will be the first link down in the description, but without further ado, let's get into it and try raising your kill death ratio. Now, about 80 to 90% of the tips we're going to be talking about today are tips for players who are brand new to the game and have never, maybe even touched a Call of Duty game before, or are just getting their hands on Black Ops 4. However, we will talk about other things today that will definitely help the players who are still good at the game. However, the first thing I want to talk about, and probably the most important that we are going to talk about today, is weapons. What weapons are good and easy to raise that kill death ratio with? So when talking about weapons in Call of Duty, it's a little bit different because the way you actually unlock weapons is by leveling up. So some of the weapons that are better in Black Ops 4, you unlock at very high levels. One, for example, is the Maddox. You unlock it at level 49, which means you can't use it right out of the gate. So after you unlock Create a Class at level 5, what are the weapons that you should use? And I think there's two that are really good that you can use right away and simply do well with. The first of which is the ICR. It is the first assault rifle that is unlocked, and this weapon is essentially a laser beam. It does not have the best time to kill in the game. In fact, it's relatively slow. However, it's an incredibly easy weapon to use, especially if you put grip 1 and grip 2 on it. And if you're a little bit higher of a level, this class that you're looking at on screen here is the exact class that I would try. Now, the second weapon that I would suggest for brand new players, once you hit level 5, use the Titan. It is the first LMG that you unlock, and quite honestly, this is probably the best weapon in the game. It's an absolute laser beam, has very low recoil, and it's like always a 3 to 4 bullet kill, which means you don't have to land a lot of bullets, you don't have to be that accurate because it has low recoil. It's just a really easy weapon to use, and you don't even have to reload that often because it's an LMG. I expect this weapon to get a nerf in the next coming month or two, but as of right now, this weapon is a beast. I highly recommend it for new players. And as far as a class setup, this on screen, what you're looking at is what I use. However, this weapon is so good, it doesn't really matter what attachments you use on it. Pretty much any class will be good with this weapon. Now, as far as once you hit level 55, you have all the weapons unlocked. What weapons should you use? Here are my top 5 weapons in the game. The ICR has a slow time to kill, but like I said, it's just so easy to use. Anyone can pick it up and do well with it. The second weapon is the Maddox. This, in my opinion, is the best assault rifle in the game. It has a really fast rate of fire, which makes it time to kill really good. In fact, up to 20 meters, it outguns all of the SMGs. If you're looking to use an SMG, quite honestly, SMGs are not great in this game. Just the way it's designed, they are most of the time outperformed by either LMGs or assault rifles. However, if you do want to use one, the two that I really like are the SOG 9mm, or if you have it unlocked from leveling up your black market, the Daemon. The Daemon's really good, in my opinion, one of the best weapons in the game, but you have to hit level 50 in the current black market. The next weapon is a little bit more difficult to use. You have to have good aim if you're using it, but it is the Auger DMR. This weapon with high caliber 1 and high caliber 2 as attachments is incredibly good. It has a fast time to kill. Definitely recommend it. And finally, it's the Titan. We already talked about this one. It's a beast, really good weapon. Just use it. The next tip I have for you to raise your kill death is choosing the proper game mode, and on top of that, how you play that game mode. So, if you're a low kill death player and just want to get that kill death up, the easiest game mode to play is Team Deathmatch. That is simply where you're going to run into the worst players because it's the most simple. On top of that, there is a very specific way you should play if you want to raise that kill death ratio. And no, it's not camping whatsoever. It's using the outside of the map to your advantage. Basically, the way to think about this is your back should always be to the edge of the map. Why is that? It's so no enemies can actually get behind you. Think of it this way. If you run into the middle of the map, an enemy can be in 360 degrees around you. If your back is to the outside of the map, there's only 180 degrees in front of you that an enemy can be. What this means is it's easier for you to spot the enemies and easier for you to kill people. It's a very simple tip. Players who have played the game for a long time probably already know this one, but this will help you out greatly. You may not get as many kills as running into the middle of the map, but that kill death will skyrocket. Now, let's say you are a better player. Your kill death is like 2.0 and you want to get it even higher. What tips can I give you? Well, you gotta run to the middle of the map, because the way you're gonna get that kill death to raise is getting more kills in a game and not dying. So, how do you run through the middle of the map yet not get shot from behind? It's all about reading spawns and controlling spawns. You have to be able to tell, first of all, where the spawns are and when they're going to flip. And that's not by knowing where the enemies are, it's actually by looking at where your teammates are. If all of your teammates are pushed towards one spawn, it's likely that the enemies are going to be spawning behind you. You have to maintain aware of that at all times, especially when playing team deathmatch. The third tip I can give you, this actually may be the most important one on the list, is aim. Aim is everything in Black Ops 4. The faster you can snap onto target and maintain your aim there, the better you will be at the game. With this new game, there is 150 health, which means your enemies have more health, and on top of that, they can heal themselves. What this means is you have to be even more accurate than in previous Call of Duty games. On top of that, headshots are more important than ever in Black Ops 4. So, what are my tips to having better aim? Honestly, I could make a full video about this topic alone. However, I'm going to make it simple for you guys. There's 3 ways to make your aim better. The first of which is Control Freaks. Now, I am sponsored by this company, but honestly, this is the cheapest way and best accessory you can buy to help with your aim. They're about $15 or Canadian, $10 American, and if you use coupon code INK, you get yourself 10% off, and on top of that, I get a little bit of money for it, but these will honestly help with your aim greatly. Essentially, what they do is allow you to be more accurate with a higher sensitivity. This will help greatly. Speaking of which, the next tip is what sensitivity you should use. If you're wondering what sensitivity I use a 10 horizontal and 9 vertical sensitivity. So first of all, you may be asking what sensitivity you should use. The way I recommend figuring this out is start on a high sensitivity, maybe 10, maybe even higher, 12 sensitivity, both horizontal and vertically, and playing with it, and lower it until it feels comfortable. What sensitivity is good is whatever one you are good with. Just because your friend uses a 10 sensitivity doesn't mean you need to. In fact, there are several pro players who play on relatively low sensitivity, so it's not necessarily a bad thing if you do. Now, once you find that good sensitivity, why do I play on one higher horizontal than vertical? And the answer is simple. In Black Ops 4, there's no boost jumping, there's no wall running, anything like that, which means your enemies are always going to be moving faster horizontally than vertically, which means your aim should move faster horizontally than vertically. Personally, this is something I enjoy. You don't have to do it, but I find that it helps me out greatly, so it might be worth a shot. So next up, specialist characters. This one's a little bit difficult to look at because it comes down to a little bit of personal preference, but I think there's definitely 2 specialist characters that can right away help you raise your kill death, and those 2 are Recon and Prophet. Now, for 2 different reasons. First of all, Recon allows you to easily see where the enemies are. Your sensor dart basically gives you a portable UAV that only scans a limited area. So, if you put it around you, you'll know where your enemies are coming at from all time. Second of all, his vision possibility makes it so you can see enemies through walls, so it can tell you where to aim in advance and make you kill more people easily. On top of that, both of these abilities give you a lot of score when your teammates get kills, which means it's a little bit easier for you to get score streaks. Now, the second is Prophet, and a lot of people may disagree with this one, but honestly, I think this is the best specialist character for new players because he's easy as hell to play. First of all, his Seeker Mine. This is a mine that will instantly tell you where an enemy is. You throw it on the ground and just follow it. It will take you to an enemy and then stun that enemy, which means that they will not be moving, so it's easy for you to kill them. You may get 3 or 4 of these a game, which means that's essentially 4 free kills to help you raise your kill death ratio. The second ability is the Tempest. Now this one's a little bit more difficult to use, but I do think it's the easiest specialist weapon to use just because its aim assist is so strong. You don't even have to shoot really anywhere near an enemy and it's gonna down them. Now you do have to shoot them a second time to kill them. However, once again, it's easy to do because of how strong that aim assist is. On top of that, the electricity from the Tempest is going to arc to the other enemies, and you can possibly get more than 1 kill off of 1 shot, which is of course very important and beneficial for your kill death ratio. Now I'm not going to go through the rest of the specialist characters. If that's something you'd find interesting, maybe ranking the specialist characters, let me know down in the comments or leave a like rating and it'll show me that you want to see something like that. Now I'm just going to give you another quick little bonus tip. As far as score streaks goes, use attainable score streaks. If you're a low kill death player, don't use a gunship as your score streak. You're never going to get it. You want score streaks that you're going to get once every 2 to 3 games. So if that's a UAV for you and you're going to get one of those every game, use it. It's going to increase your score, make you level up faster, get more weapons, and raise that KD. If you're going to get a Predator missile every game, for God's sake, use that. But if it's something like the gunship, I personally don't even get a gunship every 3 to 4 games, so I don't tend to use that score streak. However, a sniper's nest is something I get almost every single game, which means it's very beneficial for me to use because every one of those kills that the sniper nest gets is going to raise my kill death ratio. Now the last tip I'm going to give you is probably the best tip on the list, and I don't very often see players doing it, and on top of that it's specific to Black Ops 4. It is that assists in this game actually count as kills. So you don't have to do 100% of the damage to a character to kill them to actually get the kill off of it. That means it is very important for you to travel with a teammate. This is for a couple of reasons. First of all, if you get into a gunfight with someone, you die and your teammate doesn't and kills them, if you get 1 bullet on that enemy, it counts as a kill for you. On top of that, if you're in that gunfight and you start to take damage, maybe you get 1 bullet on the enemy, hop behind a wall, your teammate finishes them off, both of you get a kill for it. On top of that, if the piece of gear you're using is stim shot, you heal incredibly quickly, so you don't have to be afraid to stop in the middle of a gunfight, run behind a wall, heal up, and then re-engage with that person once you're at full health. This, once again, will help you greatly. Maybe that enemy doesn't heal, runs towards you, then you have more health in them. Or maybe your teammate runs in there and finishes them off, and you still get the kill for it. In this game, you have to not be afraid of leaving a gunfight, because that is what's going to raise your kill death ratio. It's going to take a while for you to get used to, because in previous Call of Duty games, you couldn't heal yourself, you had to wait, so it made the gameplay a little bit differently. But in this game, because you can heal yourself, leaving that gunfight is so beneficial. But guys, those are 10 ways to raise your kill death ratio in Black Ops 4. Hopefully I was able to help you out a bit, get that kill death a little bit higher. And if I did, I would really greatly appreciate it if you could hit that like button. And if you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and turn notifications turned on to stay up to date on all my videos. And as always guys, if you have any questions or other ideas to raise your kill death, feel free to let me know down in the comments, or if you disagree with anything that I said. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars.